If she tells you what happened, she thought that I was gay because she was trying to kiss me. She tried to kiss me.
Young Mindset. This is a channel where we interview people's career paths and businesses. Hi, my name is Arlen.
Hey, hi, my name is Franklin, and today our guest is Jesus. How you doing, Jesus?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Now, the first question that I have is I always like to ask this question because, what I usually like to tell myself is that, people, especially successful entrepreneurs, that they never have like a boring backstory. So, how about you just tell me like a little bit about your backstory?
Well, my backstory is it's not sad. It's actually pretty fun. I come from a middle low class family, and from the Dominican Republic. I'm from Santo Domingo. Um, they call it Zona Oriental. This is like a town over there. I'm the youngest of four brothers. I have two brothers and one sister, and obviously me. And yes, we were there's always food on the table. We were not rich. We were not middle class because over there you can have crazy rich people also. Um, but yeah, my first brother, the oldest one, also an entrepreneur. So I have that blood inside of me
Hmm.
also. That I need to follow
That
those.
instinct,
Yeah, like if he if he made it, why I cannot make it too. So yes, I study. I have two degrees, marketing and advertising. I studied in a university called APEC over there, also in Santo Domingo. Um, and over there when I met my wife. Funny story when I met my wife.
You met her in Dominican Republic, you said?
Yeah, we were set up. My best friend is her cousin. So she was trying to get her boyfriend at that time jealous by inviting me to the movies.
Oh, wow. Did she succeed?
I don't know if she succeeded. I did. She paid for everything. They invited
She
me.
paid for
I
you?
didn't know. It was like free movie, you mean? They said, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. Okay, cool.
I mean, anybody, you get a hot date, a free movie?
Correct. And I was dating with all a few girls too.
Mhm.
And
Oh. You sure she's not watching?
Oh, you a player. Whoa.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, bro.
if she tells you what happened, she thought that I was gay because she was trying to kiss me. She tried to kiss me, and I didn't kiss her because I was dating a friend of her cousin, my best friend, and I was like, all right, this is uncomfortable. I probably shouldn't be doing this is because my best friend is in the middle. So I was like, all right,
So she was there at the scene?
yeah, all right, I'm gonna keep messing with this one.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna let my wife like what is now my wife? No, I'm gonna pass on you. Like, nah. She thought I was gay, and I was like, all right.
Wait, so when do you find out? Like,
I said, yeah, right, yeah, okay. I wasn't interested, so I didn't care that much. Like, yeah, okay. And I thought that she was ugly. So it's really curious how you get together. Like I married the ugly girl, and she married the gay guy.
Oh my God.
It's pretty funny, and yeah, it's actually I'm not gonna tell you that it was a horrible situation. It's not. I actually appreciate what I have because of what I went through over there. Um, we didn't have fancy possessions, but we know how to use the things that we have to make it happen and make ourselves happy and entertained. And something that over there is really common, and you're gonna have a lot of bright minds in the shadows. People that know a lot of history, people that have a lot of common sense, but the environment is not gonna allow them to shine. So I have a lot of those minds around me. Again, we didn't have money, but we knew. So that was
So
kind
how
of
did
the
you?
environment over there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So how did you? Being over there with no money, seems like you had a lot of odds against you. How did you get over here? I know the whole immigration process isn't easy. Like, how did you overcome that just to like
The,
get over here?
the ugly girl.
No.
No, ugly girl.
Actually, yeah. Um, I married my wife,
Mm-hmm.
but not with the purpose of coming here
Mm-hmm.
because I had a good job
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that I can pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
Not crazy bills because I was young. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't uh, I didn't have big expenses. I was living.
How old were you?
I was when I got married, I was 25,
Okay.
Hmm.
but I'm still living with my mom back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I left at 24, almost 25.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get into the relationship, like we I find out that yeah she's pretty, all right, and she find out that yeah he's not gay. So
How did you figure that
so
one
we
out?
dated a few times. Well, you know, things happen.
Wait. So
So
like when it?
yeah, we went into a date and I tried to
Yeah.
kiss her. So she said, "Wait a second. So you're not gay?" And I was like,
No.
Okay.
"So yeah, something like that happened." And
All right.
yeah. So basically, uh, we dated a few times. We dated for
Mm-hmm.
2 years, but we were graduating. She was graduating college, but I already graduated, so I was working. So I told her, "Hey, I don't like the traveling because I don't have the money to travel, not even once a year. I actually have to work a whole year to be able to come to the States to see you for a week or two. And that's not a relationship. And I don't think as soon as you leave college, you will be able to come to the R once or twice, even though like money wise, you have more possibilities than me um, to see me. So I told her like I think that if we cannot be together permanently, we should call this out and deal with the pain now, that live with the frustration later. And instead of being friends, have resentment because we couldn't resolve this issue.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually thought about it. And I said, why you don't come over? And I said, unfortunately, I know what illegal immigrants go through. So I will never gonna stay illegal. But I will go. I will go like I was planning to go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. So maybe I can find another job, schedule to like start working in certain day. So yes, I said okay, I'm gonna go over there. So have some long vacations and have fun, obviously.
Some long vacations.
This if this is gonna be a breakup, it's gonna be yeah,
A
gonna be
fun one?
yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
Oh my.
So she told me, why you don't stay? And I said, I'm not gonna stay here illegally. I'm gonna go back home because the trouble, like I'm not having trouble. I have a home. Yes, I live with my mom, but I still have somewhere to sleep. I have a job that is not a good pay, but it's paying for my personal stuff. Like I think I can make it instead of coming here and all of a sudden start hiding. I I don't want to concentrate in hiding. I want to concentrate in producing.
Mhm.
So what she said is, well, we don't get married. And I was like, oh, like like, do you like? Are you asking me, or you want me to
No.
ask you? Like how this is working? Because we are really young. And she was recruiting for the second largest company in finance and accounting.
Mm-hmm.
There is Ernest and Young.
Yeah, Ernest and Young.
Yeah, she was getting recruited from that company, and she was have a bright future. I was like, I don't want to like get into the middle of that. I know my ambition, but I want to get. We were young, we didn't know. So she said, I gonna bet on you that I'm not gonna regret it. And I said, all right. I'm a fast decision maker. I don't cook it like, oh, let me think about it for a day or two.
Mm.
So I said, okay, let's arrange this quickly. This is not gonna be romantic. We're gonna enjoy it, but it's not gonna be romantic because this time is there. I'm already there. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little salty. The marriage was a little salty. Good, but it was salty because it's not
So
flowers.
add some flavor to it.
Yes, this it's like it's like a juice without the vodka. Yeah,
Or like the vodka without the juice.
exactly. It's missing something.
Yeah.
But we did it. I waited 9 months to get my work permit. I had my not permanent resident, but I was like a resident.
Mhm.
Like, my first 2 years here. Yeah, and I was like, after the second month, I was going nuts. Didn't like it. It was.
And why would you say that?
It's because the law here, like what you think is freedom, is not my meaning of freedom. So I needed to adjust the way that I used to live in that country, Dominican Republic, to adjust of the way that, in my mind, America's rule. You know what I mean? For example,
Yeah.
I used to own guns, but the way that I use guns is not the way that people here use guns. It sounds funny, like, what do you mean? We all use it the same way. No. If it gets dark in DR, now it's no matter if it's dark like morning, afternoon, or night.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was there, when it was dark, it was dangerous.
Mhm.
So when you have your gun, you were willing to use it with people.
Mhm.
It's not like, yeah, you were willing to use it because, or was the thief that was trying to rob you willing to kill you and whoever is with you to take your phone? They were willing to kill you because of your phone. The $3 or $5 that you had on your pocket, change, like money, like change. They were willing to kill you for that money. So my alert was high. Also, what I call freedom as well was over there. I knew the street rule. I could drink in the street. I cannot drink in the street here. It's illegal. Um, and a few more stuff. But I needed to adjust, and I wasn't working. I used to work since I was 12 years old. Always working, always doing something. When I had to spend, since the day I married, 9 months waiting for the work permit, relying on my wife to like actually pay everything, um, me trying to help in the house, trying to like, hey, I'm not here just sucking your money for 9 months. I'm actually trying to make your life more comfortable with what I can do because I cannot do anything. I went and asked for a job, but they didn't give it to me because I didn't have a work permit. This, they told me like, yeah, and if let's work in a house. And my wife told me, you're not working in that house. It's not because I don't want you to work or because that is a bad job. It's because of the liability that will happen if something will happen to me when I shouldn't be doing those things in the first place. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean with adjusting. Those 9 months were horrible because when you used to work constantly, 7 days a week, when you used to party 7 days a week, because party here, you need money to go out to a restaurant, whatever. You just need 2 Coronas and a patio over there. But you were always in activity. Those 9 months that you needed to like control yourself, to do like, please man, like give me something. Let me just how I can make some money. I couldn't drive Uber because I didn't have a license. And after a month, I couldn't drive her car. If I was driving, I was illegally. Something that I actually did for the whole 9 months. But I didn't do taxi.
Oh, wow.
I was dropping her off at her job and coming back home. That was my whole thing. So yes, it was hard to adjust. And the waiting, it was like, oh my God, a lot of things. When you are in that spot, a lot of things goes through your mind. Something, not good things, not good things. You're like, oh, it was worth it. I'm not producing anything, but you have to find a way, like keep it centered. But basically, it's that. Yeah, that was my experience, like immigration. For me, it wasn't that difficult because I have the two parties agreeing to everything, and we knew it had to be found. So the sentiment of like, oh, let me do the dream wedding and stuff like that, that was not the plan. So that part was a good idea, and her family knew, and I was a good kid. Like, yes, I come from a background like that kid is weird, but is a good person. And I'm a really family oriented, so I know how to earn my family. So I earned her family pretty quickly in the days that we were dating. But
And did that affect you, or her? Because I know, when you want to get married and you want to have like a really romantic moment, her not having her dream wedding or, you having your perfect moment, did that, affect you in any way? Like, how did you feel about that?
me now, wedding, sorry, this is going to sound bad, but
Yeah.
wedding are for the wife. I didn't care much because I don't know nothing about like her dream wedding. My dream is sharing my life with a good woman. That's my dream. But the celebration of it for me is every day. But the celebration of the union for her, it was a big deal. So she remind me every day, like, oh, we're gonna get married in 1 year or two after this, right? And we're gonna make it this way and this way and this way, right? Because if you don't do that, I'm gonna deport you. You know?
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, hard jokes.
Damn, she really.
I have tough skin, so those things don't break me. But it was pretty. Yeah, she needed. She was reminding me every day, like, oh, my wedding, this amount of people. I want my big rock, like the rock. I was like, yeah, I want 2 carrots, and I was like, I'm not working. We got married with a Walmart ring.
With a what? Sorry.
Walmart.
Walmart ring.
Oh wow.
How much did it cost?
Like $350, something like that. It was cool. I did like it, but it wasn't a diamond. It was cute, and we returned it. And we returned it. Yeah. After we got married and everything, we returned it. She said, "I'm not using it."
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
It's part of it. It's her dream wedding. So I'm still paying for it. But anyway. But yeah, that's my immigration experience. Like for people out there, I definitely recommend like, hey, sometimes you want to take a chance, but you have to actually see your surroundings and see what odds you have. Like, yes, it's worth it, not it's worth it. Plan your stuff good. If you can come legally, does come legally. Do not, because you got desperate. If it's not, there's people comfortable in their own country that have this idea of like, oh, I'm gonna go illegally. Why? Why? Because it's gonna come an opportunity that you can come and do things without you being chased. You can keep the same status and don't mess it. If you are like in danger, yeah, all right, I feel you. I completely understand and I back you up. If you're in danger, I can mention a few. If you're in Mexico, not every single Mexican is poor, please. There's a lot of rich people, but the people on the border that is actually crossing, they are in danger. There are Narcos zones. And if you guys don't know what a narco is or a cartel, please look it up in Google. That's not a good environment to be around. So yes, I completely understand these people trying to come over. But people that don't have the need to come illegally, why will you do that? Nobody's chasing you. You live in a good family, you have your house. Oh, entrepreneurship? Please, if it's entrepreneurship, read a book. You can make a lot of business. There's a lot of businesses spreading that you can actually make dollar money in your own country. And actually you make way more money and live more comfortable in your own country than here. So why will you do something like that? Venezuela, people from Venezuela, from Honduras, I know. If you tell me, like, maras, cartels, gangs, stuff like that, dude, I feel you. I know. But if your family have business, you got money, why will you do that from? I have people in my family that they came here, like they died in the way crossing the river. And they were rich here. Like they were rich, in DR, they were rich. So my question, why do you do that? You didn't have the need to do that. You were not that.
Life back home.
Yeah, you have food, good food, good. Not plátanos, like with nothing. No, you have good stuff to eat. Like you were comfortable. Why you decide to do those things? So anyway, I don't want to get sad here, but I went. That's what my trip. So I said, okay, I'm going there. We got married. We did all of this. So after my 9 months,
Mm.
my first job that I thank God that I got it. It was in a Honda dealership.
Mm.
Mhm.
That
That's
sounds
what
like a pretty good job.
Wait, which Honda dealership?
How'd you land that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, which
Oh,
Honda dealership?
it was. I'm not sure if I can say the name, but it's in Passaic, New
Okay.
Jersey.
Okay, I know which
Passaic,
one you're
New
talking
Jersey.
about.
Uh, so I started there for 2 years. It was really tough,
Mm.
but Passaic is a Hispanic community. So for those 2 years, I forced myself to speak English, and I
Mhm.
forced myself to like not speak Spanish because I knew Spanish. So I didn't have to do effort, but I wanted to learn English because I'm in United States. I had like it would be silly for me expecting like everybody to communicate with me if I'm the immigrant here. Like I'm came here. Like when I go to your house, I'm not like I don't want to like turn the TV, go to your fridge. You will say like this guy is crazy. No, I actually came, start my job. That's when I learned sales. That's when I started reading about books, like reading about like entrepreneurship, reading like knowing and seeing in practice. If you work hard, you get paid. Because
And
if I
which
work hard,
yeah,
yeah.
which
No,
books
sorry.
inspired you? Yeah.
My managers,
Oh,
my
okay.
managers. You see, like people that they were just hired with me, um, make. I saw them make from 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, $2,500 a month
Mhm.
to 8,000, 12,000, 13,000 a month. And the way that they got there, you can see their growth and they like their hunger that the managers put on them. It's, it was a chaotic environment. They
Mhm.
told you need to have tough skin because a lot of people are going to tell you no. And just because of that, you have to put as much people in front of you so you can increase your odds of succeed.
Mm-hmm.
If you break in pressure, you're never going to see these checks. And that's when I realized, hey, this is my first job that they're going to pay me for how hard I work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, now I realize the opportunity that I had in my hand. And they train you, yes, for cars, but you can use those same techniques for everything else. Learn how to ask questions, know how to become friendly, how to adapt, how to change your personality. Because one
Yeah.
thing is my personality when I was young is not the same one as now. You grow, you understand things better, and you grow as a person and as a
Yeah.
professional. So that I change and I have some like way more books in my mind doesn't mean that it changed what I am, but it changed how I carry myself and change the goal and how I pursue the goal. So that was the key job. I was working 72 hours a week and more.
Wow.
It was crazy, but I like it. You get sick. Like when you start seeing these checks, after you see a check of like, let's say you get paid every 15 days. After you see a check that they pay you for $4,000 for 15 days, you don't want to see a $1,500 check. you don't want to see a $1,000 check. You don't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
You say like, what? This is what I no. Something bad. And I learned that this, like the life of the entrepreneur, is like a roller coaster. It goes up
Yeah.
and down, up and down, up and down. And one of my managers told me the best. I don't know if I should say that here because we don't have the best relationship ever. But he said something. When you feel lost, go back to the basics. You can build from the basics. So you remember when I was telling you before you started the recording that you have to take care of your basics
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to keep that foundation to avoid to crumble under pressure when you put weight on top of it. He always said, when you feel lost, go to the basics. Take care of the basics. The basics will take you far. Keep like, don't start modifying things. There are rules. Not thinking that you know everything. That job was my school. That job gave me my first car. I didn't have a car in the yard, actually. That was a piece of crap. But I didn't pay for it, so I cannot complain, right? That job gave me my first car at 25 years old.
And did you have to pay for it or?
Yes, I actually, my wife helped me to lease it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How I did that is, a car is a good opportunity for you to build your credit. A lot of people are going to say no, but you have to start somewhere. You're going to spend money to make money. So the way I did it is, I didn't have credit. I didn't have everything. I was disappeared. But my wife co-signed. And we only leased this car because I was on the papers. So if I wasn't on the papers, the car wasn't needed in the house. We have a little Mazda, girls car, little red Mazda. I was embarrassed. It's like, but it wasn't my car, so I was like happy. I was like, yeah, this is nice. Yes, it was little, and so yeah, that job gave me all of those opportunities. Give me my first car, build my credit over there. And from there, I jumped to a luxury dealership, a Lexus dealership in Englewood, New Jersey. Another huge opportunity and another jump to meet another type of people and another type of customer. That's when I learned, and that's actually how I got into insurance. You always selling. That's when I learned that you always selling. That you want to be in a job, that you pursuing something. I don't want to be in the wheel of like everybody else, 9 to 5 with no goal. It's not because 9 to 5 is a bad thing, but when you get into a job that you don't have a goal to chase, that you don't have, oh, I want this position, I'm looking for this, I don't want that anymore. I can get a 9 to 5 if I have a goal. Not now, but if I have a goal like, hey, come to this company, help us chase to scale from here to here, I have a goal. All right. Yes. But come here to cash your check and all over again and all over again and all over again. Please don't do that. So you kill the soul of a person like that.
So at the dealership in Inglewood, the one that you started working after the one in Passaic, you said that that's where you got into the insurance business. Can you elaborate, how you got into that?
Yeah, it's actually, he was one of my clients. He walked in, his name, I don't know. I don't want to say his, but He entered to the dealership just to look around. He's a Lexus fan. I used to work in Lexus, the Lexus Inglewood, and he was a Lexus fan. And we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I have a new car that I know that he would like, I call him like, "Hey, do you want to test drive? I got a new baby in the showroom." And he always come in and he always talk about, you know, what he likes, like friends, like how you talk. And he told me like, "Oh, I own an insurance brokerage firm over there in Inglewood." I was like, "Oh, yeah, awesome. And how is it?" "Oh, I do this, I do that." And I was like, "Oh." He always told me like, "Hey, whenever you get tired of the car business, give me a call. So you give it a try in the insurance business. You will be very good." I was like, "Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. You never know. The car industry is really, it's not steady.
Okay.
You can be in one dealership for a year, and another year you are in another dealership. It's a lot of job. But some stuff happened in the dealership that I was, things that were not going morally.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling comfortable over there. So
Right.
I give him a call. I said, "Hey, the offer is still on the plate, like still on the table?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." I didn't tell him that I quit, but I quit that day. And I left. And then because I was like fed up, I was tired, and it was toxic for me already. Good managers, good people, but after the managers, you also have more people, and they were not doing the things. They were hurting my customers, and I was like, "I'm not staying for this," and I left. So I went over there. He told me like, "Okay, you need to start studying. You can go to this," and I was like, "So I don't want to start working now?" He said, "No, you have to get licensed." I was like, "I wish you have told me that before." And I said, "Why?" "I just quit my job." She said, "What?" But anyway, I went to school.
Yeah.
I passed the school checks, the test. And after that, I was pursuing the state test, STU test.
Yeah.
School. I failed like 6 times.
Yeah. So wait, how long? My question is how long was the process, and how did you do that with no income? Because that must have been stressful right there. Like no income, and you have to take tests, and you have to pass this license to get this job. How was that?
I didn't have income, but I did have saving.
Okay.
And remember, I told you, when you get one of these checks, when you work hard, you know, I did a lot of dumb things with my money, a lot of financial decisions that were not brightest, very dumb. But I saved some money. That opportunity, that hard work that I did, opened me the door for this little thing of not having a job and just concentrating on certain things. So when I started school, my wife helped me a lot. She was managing my money and her money, so everything was nice. I was living in like not spending anything, just gas. You eat here in the house. You don't eat outside. So she gave me like $20. Put that on the phone. You go and give me good food. And
That's
like,
hilarious.
I have credit cards. I can spend all the like cheap block on my credit cards. And I said, "I'm doing for your own good." And I was like, okay. I went, took my class, come back. That happened for a month and 2 weeks.
Was the class free, or did you have to pay for the class?
I pay for it. He
Okay.
then reduced me,
Yeah.
but he didn't tell me that.
How much was it?
It was like $500
Okay.
around, like everything, like $500, including the
Mm.
books and the class.
Okay.
So they gave me the books and all those things. Yes, I learned a lot. Didn't get much. To be completely honest, I was like, I don't understand anything. But I learned in the practice. That's when you learn. You don't learn in the classroom. But I was trying to pay attention to pass the test.
Mm.
I passed the test of the school. I was happy, fire up. Scheduled the state test. They tell you what to do. You don't have to worry too much about it. And I failed 6 times. Every time that I took it, I got nervous. It was long. And my
Long what?
hands sweaty. And I was like, I'm not good to taking tests. I'm not good, and I'm not good. At the 6th time, the lady that we knew each other already.
Oh
Like,
wow.
hey, Jesus, how are you?
Did you bring some
ready
coffee?
for another try? Like, yeah, how's the kids? I was like, yeah, you make friends everywhere.
Mhm.
She was telling me, look, I know your issue. Relax. Go outside. Drink a bottle of water. Go to the bathroom. Just think that, just answer what you think is right. Don't think that you need this. Just relax. That little thing that she just said. I'm a religious person too. She always said, God got you. You have a good heart. You already have 6 times. Other people who already have quit on the 3rd time. And the 2nd time, like, fuck. So she told me, you got this. She told me, like, just relax, do some exercise, and go inside. Because after you go inside, you can come back out. I went, and you know what? Surprisingly, I passed with a good score. I was like, oh. So yeah, after that, I was like very, very happy. And that's when I actually, all the ideas of like, now that I can pursue, I'm legally allowed to pursue them. So let's work on it. That was my mindset after I passed the test, immediately. And after a bottle of whiskey for celebration. But after that,
Of course. You gotta celebrate, man.
yeah, like you have to celebrate victories as they come. You cannot
Yeah, of
like
course.
propagate happiness. You have to like make it out like, yeah, we got a new client. I celebrate everything now. Everything. So yeah, that's what happened with the licensing and the time that I actually did it, and how I did it, and how I get into the insurance business. The guy is an awesome guy. I admire him a lot. We didn't get along in certain things because I was working after I passed the test. He said, okay, you can come here until you pass the state exam. And I started working June 6th of 2019. 2019 or 18? Some of those years. And when I was that's when I realized I cannot do a 9-to-5 job. I was getting depressed. Everything was getting into my skin, something that had never happened before. The office didn't have no windows. It was an office. It didn't have no windows.
Oh man, that's terrible.
People, and it was no people to interact. And more
Yeah.
with the pandemic. You were like, my wife told me, this is not an environment for you. You feed out of people. Like you are a people person. You give people energy, and that energy that you give them, they give it to you back, and that's your fuel.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have that environment, you like you can have mental issues, really.
And working there in that type of environment, no windows, no interaction, and your dislike of 9 to 5 jobs. Is that what inspired you to be an entrepreneur? Being your own boss.
Yeah. But the thing is, I didn't dislike my boss, and I dislike where I was, but I didn't dislike the people. I love the people.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they treat me, but it was not my environment.
Okay.
And when you read enough, but there is a book that's very popular. It's called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And there is another book from him that is called the Law of Human Nature. And a few more. You study how you can be like because you fall in love with the people, you stop your own growth. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions and say, look, I love all of you, but this environment is sucking the soul out of me. And before I die in this, like my goals and everything that I have built and everything that I have learned, I need to move on to another place that will give me the interaction that I need so I can grow, the opportunity that if I work hard, I will get compensated. This working hard and not getting compensated, the price, is not my thing. Because if I work 72 hours and you give me the same amount of money like I was working 20 hours a week, no. And I'm not going to waste my brain because the environment is not helping me think in something productive. It's making me think in something unproductive. So from there, I told my wife, I need to be reborn. I need to make a decision to leave this place, but I don't want to go back to a dealership because our marriage almost it was really in a difficult position because of the dealership. 72 hours every.
It was that bad.
It was a lot of hours, a lot of animosity in that sales environment, a lot of competition, and on top of it, my wife needed some time as well. It was messing with my head.
Yeah, of course.
My personal time. Then, so from there, I took the decision. Okay, I need to have my life plan because I make some mistakes that actually hurt a lot financially. I was cheated and with a good friend that I thought it was a good friend of mine. That actually hurt me a lot in pursuing a business. And when you have your wife and you already failed by starting a business, when you try to start another one, it's way more difficult because now you have to convince her that this is different. Because you know about yourself anymore. You have a family that if your family is not with you, it's hard. A lot that can go wrong, a lot. And in this country, men are not the one that are gonna go I'm gonna take my kids to a better place. No, you're the one who walk out of your own home without no, just your clothes, and you're gonna leave your loved ones because you love them. So you have to work your family too, the close ones. The other ones doesn't matter. the the close one, the one that you live, that you yeah, because you have some brothers that live in another state that if they tell
Yeah.
you something, you say like, "You're not here, so I don't care." But, you know, but the ones that live with you and that they're gonna stick with you through the process, you have to sell them that is the best decision, and you have to believe
Yeah.
it. Learn how to believe it. So, when I make the decision of leaving that beautiful people, those beautiful people, in the horrible job to make my own company, that's when the game started for me. I draw where I wanted to go. I draw everything that I needed to do, what I want, how I wanted to pursue, how, like my rules, my negotiables, my non-negotiables, everything that made me who I am and how I like to work after my experiences. I I wrote everything down and I make my book, like my own book, my rules for me. And from there, I started like I from things that I know because I like to read a lot, and from those I also like to read between the lines. So I know what to do and I knew what to do. So I applied for the state. I opened my new company. I knew that I needed a nice website. I needed that PNC brokerage. Needed to go to another level, but it's a baby.
And did you do all that by yourself, or did you have some help?
By myself, everything cash, no credit.
Everything, website,
No,
you know, marketing, everything.
no, not like that.
Okay.
I plan everything, but you cannot do everything.
Okay.
After you meet people and they you can use, this is not gonna sound well, but you need to have friends that you can use. The people that you can use are the ones that are always gonna be close to you. So I have friends that actually help me with those things. Obviously, I pay them and I pay them good because I value what they do. But after that, knowing those things is knowing what you can do and what you cannot do. Because if you decide to do everything, you don't know everything for you to decide that you're going to do everything. So definitely, those things are going to be very crappy. The things that you don't know what to do, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm the best. I know what to do. They're going to be crappy. So I pay the professionals, and I got everything I needed. Do the right way, because I knew where to go, and I knew the path that I wanted to take. So that's actually very important to have when you're getting into entrepreneurship. You have to know people.
Okay.
You don't go nowhere without someone else open you the door. Like, oh, I made it by myself. That's a lie. You need someone else to believe in you and open you that door so you can actually move forward, move through doors. And just like they open the door for you, you open the door for other people. And that's how everybody's run. So that's exactly why I created PNC Brokerage. PNC Brokerage is the brokerage that will represent those people that need those basic things and those little resources to start. That's the push that I didn't have. That's the push that I want to give to people. People sometimes don't need like, oh, I need $10,000 to start this business. At this time, you can start any business without no money. But the problem is most of the people are not committed to their idea. They just create it. They think this. That's it. So from there, that's actually the little story of how I got into the insurance business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just have another quick question. So, I mean, I like what you said about, finding friends to work with. And I guess one of my questions is like, how do you balance between like being open-minded to like ideas from like, other business owners and your friends and knowing when something's like, that's not such a good idea?
Well, being open-minded and easily persuaded are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really open-minded to any idea. Why? There's a lot of individuals that are different. There is a certain way that I like to work. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
to work this way. This is how I feel comfortable. Other people like other ways. I'm open-minded for them to do them. That doesn't bother me. But maybe I'm not ready yet to just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's not my way. So I don't want to go for that path. So you can be like, yeah, I respect what you're doing, and I see the things that you are accomplishing, but it's not for me. That's not how I do things, and I'm not ready to try it that way yet. If I ever try it, so you have to be careful because a lot of people are going to push you to do things that you have to have these things. You have to have your non-negotiables and your negotiables. I things that you are like, yeah, let's give it a try. But some other things that are not your not negotiables, you have to stick to them. This is, I don't do those things. No, that's not me. That I, um, I don't stand for that, so I don't do it that way, or I don't represent that, or you have to stick to it because then you lose yourself, and then you start negotiating everything, and all of a sudden, in the place that you want it to be. So you have to be really strict of what you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be an asshole. Like deny other ideas, you know. You take them and you do them. Yeah, like you should. This is like meeting other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see me, I have a bunch of tattoos. You don't see them, but that doesn't define anything. There's a lot of people that like to club. Do I like club? Not really. I like bars. I like to like intimate gatherings. I love those. But that doesn't mean that I would go to a club once in a while. Do I like them? Told you, not really. No negotiables. Um, Scamming people, not my thing. Try to for revenue do harm to other people. It's almost like scamming. Not my thing. Betraying people, not my thing. I'm very loyal, and you can go on those type of things. I'm extremely honest, but when I say extremely honest, I respect you enough to find a way to tell you the truth respectfully. Just because I'm honest, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be an asshole to tell you the things the way that I know are going to hurt you and offend you. Even though that no matter how I say it, it might offend you. But looking for the way, like doctors, like, oh, you have cancer. You figure it out. Bye. No. They find a way. They try to be, friendly. I don't know the word. My English goes away. But
No, it's all right, man.
that's basically what I'm trying to.
Going back to when you were opening up your business, taking those first step as an entrepreneur, and you're not depending on your boss anymore for a check, or you're not getting that weekly check anymore. Now you're just depending on yourself. What do you do when things got hard?
Yeah, you have to have your plan B,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't mean that you're not doing your plan A. It's just plan A, that's your business. But when
Yeah.
things get hard, the reality is you need to get funding from somewhere.
Mm. You always need that money, right?
Everybody needs the money. The illusion of like, oh, just do it and don't do anything else, just stick to it.
Mm.
They just want to say don't quit. But that doesn't mean that you cannot try other things.
Mm.
Everything is timing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling, do Uber on the side to support yourself. Work part-time from somewhere else, something like for someone else. Just don't quit what you're doing. Try to get funding. Study how the government can fund you or
Help you out.
yeah, go outside. Try to find sources, because the thing is, when you're struggling financially, you cannot think straight, because when your rent is due,
Mm.
you cannot think on like, oh, my rent is due, I'm not gonna have a place to live. How am I gonna think in producing more money for my company? I need to produce a certain amount to pay my bills. People like to think, oh, yes, you can do it. Yeah, you can, but it's not a common. It's not common. So I'm not going to sell you the illusion that these things are going to be easy, like just knowing things. No. If you're struggling financially and you have your own company, first of all, I don't recommend you to start any companies without having some money. I don't believe that starting a company from debt is a good idea, meaning funding it with credit cards,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a short-term loan with a really high interest that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So try to save your money. Find out exactly how much it costs, at least for the first 3 to 6 months, just for the company to pay himself. Not for you, for the company to pay himself. Because you can pay everything else doing little things. Right now, you can make money even renting your own car. You can rent your car and you can make some bucks. You can get paid through referrals, referring people to other businesses, and you can make money from there. You can buy and sell in Amazon, drop shipping. That is going to take some time, because you're not trying to be rich doing those things. You want to be rich doing your idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that you cannot do other stuff. So that, like, I just want to kill the idea of like, oh, don't do anything else. Just do your things. Believe me, when you sit down with a nice pizza and a good Coca-Cola, you can find a way to make some money on the side to pay your bills while you are working. Yes.
And when you started, did you have those financial troubles at the beginning?
Yeah, of course. Of course, but I have a wife that can support me, because when you initiate a business, it's like having a baby.
Mm.
The first few years of the baby, you just put money in it. And after, in this country, After 18 is when you start seeing something coming in.
Mm.
You have to start, give your mom $200, pay your own cell phone or something like that.
Mm.
In DR, it's quite different. You have to literally pay like it's rent. So, yeah, I did have those financial issues. My wife was helping me a lot, but I
Yeah.
wasn't scared to do anything. Like I was open to do everything to fund my business.
Yeah.
Uber Eats, DoorDash, those little things that everybody can with a vehicle can do.
Mm.
And without a vehicle, you can go and work. If you don't have a vehicle, you can go and work somewhere else. That's delivery. Something that you can, have some money.
Kind of help you through. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a rule. When you have money brings more money.
Mm.
Nobody wants a broke guy right next to you, like next to me. Why?
Mm.
Because a broke mentality. I don't want that. It's contagious. A
Yeah.
person is always talking, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want this car, I was that guy. Always spending all the money, but not producing enough to keep it up, like to keep that same lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you want those people that actually, yes, if you want a nice car, yes, get it, but let's see how we can increase our revenue for you to have that car. I want those type of people right next.
Mm-hmm.
So even though that you are, like, say, a delivery person, that delivery person can be. When you're hanging out with me, I'm not asking you, where's your job description? What do you do for a living? No. I just know that you are able to pay dinner. I just know that you are able to pay your drinks, and that's enough for me. There's people that, oh, can you pay for this one? Oh, can you pay for the drinks? You don't want those people close to you. They literally pour in mine. So you have to get rid of that. Even though that you like them, but that doesn't mean that they're good for business.
We have a couple of more questions then, and we're gonna have to wrap it up because we're low on time. They're mostly about the insurance products you provide. So renter's insurance, like, why would a renter need to get insurance?
There's a few things why. Do you believe what you have in your house is valuable to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Oh, so it's mostly coverage for like the valuables you own?
Yeah, exactly. And also protects for any lawsuits. Like say,
Lawsuits how?
like say that in my house, someone come and visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have some stairs. And the stairs were a little wet, like say, because it was raining. Somebody tripped them. It would be a good idea to have insurance that time, because if they sue you, they will sue you. And they will, if you own the house, not like say if you're renting, they basically suing you and the landlord.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't know the renters can get sued.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So that's pretty interesting.
Anybody can get sued.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So insurance is to protect your assets.
Okay.
So the worst insurance policy is no insurance policy.
Just maybe like two more questions.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, so I really like the way that you put it, Jesus. Like, is there to protect your assets? Because the way, people think of it, it's like, God forbid, like the worst thing happens, like I get into a car accident or I die, they're just thinking of like as the worst case scenario. So like, what would you think are some things about insurance that a lot of people get misconceptions about?
Both, they just a waste of money. Um, they just basically to satisfy the state because the state requires, for example, for you to drive a car, you have to have car insurance.
Mhm.
There is not. The benefits of the insurance is exactly to protect your assets, the things that you have worked so hard for. So that's the purpose of my insurance. If you own a business, and for example, there is something, there's a difference between a general liability policy and a business owner policy. In the state of New Jersey, one that is requires the general liability for all businesses. But that's a third party policy. It will protect the other person. Like if they trip on the sidewalk in front of your business, they can sue you, right? But let's say, what about if your business burn?
Mhm.
That's not general liability. That's property. And sometimes you said, because you wanted to save just a few bucks, you lost in case uh, of something happening. It costs you way more money. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep in context. Everything is a balance. Like, all right, it's actually worth it. What is the worst case scenario? Yes, it's definitely worth it. Life insurance. I don't know why people don't have life insurance until this day. I really don't know. With all the products that life insurance have under the umbrella, for example, the there is whole life insurance and there is term insurance.
Mhm.
I always recommend term insurance, and I always recommend, hey, if you're skeptical that nothing is gonna happen, but also you are worried that if something happened, do you want to you want to be covered? There is a life policy for that. There is something called ROPs or return of premium. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive because of that benefit, but if it's nothing happened, they give you your money back.
Mhm.
All of it. All of it. They give you all your money back. It's like having a car insurance. Oh, no accident happened. Here's your money. You didn't make any mistakes. Here, you are a good driver. You know what? That would be awesome. But in life, yes, you do, because if something happened to you during that term, your family is not going to suffer the financial struggle of not having you around. Because if you make $100,000 or $50,000, those $50,000 pay for the living of somebody else. Imagine that they cannot count on that money coming in. They will be struggling so hard, and people that you, even if you don't die, a lot of life policies have living benefits. I have seen people that they got life insurance and few months after they get cancer. And guess who paid for that?
The insurance
Life
company.
insurance. Not health insurance, life insurance.
Yeah. There's a question that I have about whole life insurance. I know there's some people that take out the policy and 30 years later they're actually borrowing money from their own life insurance policy. Is that something true? And if so, is
Yeah.
that like something that you would recommend?
Yes, you have index IULs that actually helps a lot,
Yeah.
but you build an equity through time. So there
Okay.
is a time that you're actually able to borrow money from your benefits in a
Mm-hmm.
specific time, maybe in a financial struggle, like just now with the COVID. A lot of people took money from their life insurance and from their 401k, 401k
Mm-hmm.
for the higher, you know,
Yeah.
some of them have some penalties, some of them don't have penalties, but yeah, they give you a lot of peace of mind. That's what life insurance, that's what insurance is. It's a peace of mind, and you have to know when to use them. But if you don't have those tools because you were too cheap or too dumb to consider it, just to consider it, you don't have these things available when they are needed. So that's why a lot of people are struggling, because they offer you stuff and you don't even consider it. Just like walk away thinking that no, just wanted to that person just wanted to scam me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want, how you want me to help you if you don't want to be helped? You know, that's up to everybody, with no exception. Get your life insurance. If you have a business, you have to have the proper insurance for your business. Not only the one that requires the state that you are in, but find out. You never know.
Yeah.
In the moment that you probably need it the most, you might want to have the right coverage. And to start entrepreneurship, insurance is awesome. Insurance is, for example, property and casualty insurance renew every 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a good salesperson and a person that cares about his clients and his customers, you're always going to have revenue every year coming to your pocket. And you can help people protect their assets, protect what they work so hard for. That's meaningful. So you help them, and also you get paid, because can you imagine? Oh my God, I don't want to work. I want to have a 6 months vacation. If you are really hard in the insurance business, guess what? You are able to have your 6 months vacation. Do you have any 9 to 5 job that offers 6 months vacation?
Nope.
Not that I know of.
Wait.
Sign me up.
No, right? That's what I'm saying. Every 12 months, if you do your due diligence and you have your good customers and you care about them and you do what you're supposed to do, you're always going to have that revenue coming every day. Always.
And what kind of traits would you say, helped you build the clientele?
I love people. I love talking to people. And besides, I'm hungry. I have a legit interest on helping them save money and protect their investment. My job is to protect their investment, save them money, and help them find a way to do it better. Because I can learn, because you manage a lot of clients and you might manage a lot of different business. If you find like, oh my God, look, this person is doing this so great, and you see another client of yours that is struggling, you might give them that idea and say, hey, have you considered this? Try it, might help you. You know? You can be that person that can show them the path that they need to get out of the financial struggle, because everything is a financial struggle.
Okay.
Frankie, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I had 2 more questions. So, I heard that that your credit score can actually affect the rate you get for your insurance. Is that actually true?
depends.
Depends.
It depends. But actually, not really. Some you shouldn't, and I don't. By law, the credit score is not. It's not a scale to
Mm-hmm.
measure. But if for certain products, yeah. But for example, for our life insurance, no. It's actually what it determines your rate is your habits, your age,
Mm-hmm.
um, your overweight, your like how you are physically.
Mm-hmm.
Does determine your rate, your credit score, not.
Okay.
And if it is, that's a lawsuit.
Hmm.
When I say yes, there is certain situations where is your credit score it might play a role, but
Mhm.
not you know it's not something common. It's special
Okay.
cases that are very rare.
Okay.
So don't be afraid. Credit
Yeah,
score is not something that, oh my God, if I have 400 credit score, I might probably pay $100 for a life insurance. No, it doesn't work that way. It just don't.
Hey, no, I mean, a lot of people probably don't even know that right now. So, yeah, thank you for that. What was your question, Frankie?
Yeah, and so my last question is, I remember I was speaking with Kathy. I remember she told me that she put like a insurance policy on her daughter, and when she's 18, that she will have 150,000. I was wondering, can you tell me a little bit about how that works?
Again, yes, you have an insurance policy for everything, for anything you want. There is products for that, but it actually determines of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have to come back and give you way more details in that specific situation
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of things are in consideration for this, and also because a lot of companies are changing their standards
Mm-hmm.
of how much money they give you. A lot of companies can give you 150 and 200. Depending on how you set it up. It's probably that's a term insurance. Um, but when she's older, she's gonna get down. Like as soon as she reaches the majority of age,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
she's gonna catch that money.
So, she gets to cash it out at 18?
No, it ends. Yes, it's like an ROP. Like I told you,
Okay.
return of premium. We pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a savings account.
Yeah. Yeah, she's probably going to get a really nice car at 18.
Probably would tell her like, it's not my money, but if I were you, I'd probably do something else with it.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, you got to.
Education, guys. Financial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, financial education. The Ferrari school.
But most of the time,
That's the whole point right there.
yeah. Can you imagine at 18? Daddy, I just got a Ford Mustang GT with 600 horsepower. And I said, why do you have a car? Like you can afford a license suspension. As soon as you turn it on, you probably have a clock right next to you. Please get something else. Yeah.
All right. So, well, I guess this is all the time we have, but I just want to ask you one last thing in a nutshell. You gave us really good advice on, how to start your own business, how you got into the insurance business. But is there anything else, in a nutshell, that you can tell us for anybody else that wants to start, an insurance business like yours? Any recommendations?
I just have a few.
Okay.
Do not quit. Be persistent. build good habits. Habits are the one who's going to keep you in track to success. If you don't work in building this habit, these habits are built through time. Be patient. If you don't have good habits, you're not gonna get nowhere. So take the time to educate yourself. You don't have to have a college degree, but you have to seek knowledge. No dumb people become rich. They smart at something. So become smart. Read. Keep it going. Know that when you are depressed, you have a commitment for success. It's not a motivation. Oh, I want to be successful. No, you have a commitment. No matter in what mood you are, you have to keep going. That's actually everything I needed to say.
All right, well,
Young entrepreneurs.
thank you. Yeah, there you have it, guys. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Jesus, for coming on our show. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if you want to come on our channel, comment down below what you do. We would love to have you. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, guys.